Simplified view. Simplified means it is as simple as a student can understand. Okay, so now I will continue. What is the purpose of doing chest examination? First is determination or determine impairment that limits physical function. As we all know, there are some condition, cardiac as well as respiratory condition like obstructive or restrictive lung disease that limits the physical function of the patient, that limits the inspiration sometimes as well as expiration. So that impairment which limits the function, which we will determine. Second is the suitability for pulmonary rehabilitation program. As we know, the pulmonary rehabilitation program is a exercise and education of the patient to enhance or increase the breathing pattern of the patient, to increase the stamina and to increase the overall capacity of the functional capacity of the patient and reduce the work of breathing as well as shortness of breath. Then the third is develop individual treatment plan. Means, as we all knows, in every cases the treatment plan is independent और individual. जैसे कि अगर हेमिप्लीजिया का पेशेंट है तो अपना ट्रीटमेंट प्लान जो है वो अलग हो जाएगा, हमें वॉलेंट्री कंट्रोल चला जाता है तो उस पे ध्यान देना होगा. And if the patient is suffering from obstructive or restrictive lung disease, our main aim or main emphasis is, in case of obstructive lung disease, our main emphasis is in फोर्सफुल एक्सपिरेशन पेशेंट नहीं कर पाता तो हमें उस पर ध्यान देना है. एज इन केस ऑफ रेस्ट्रिक्टिव लंग डिसीज, both are reduced in a same manner, so we concentrate on residual volume, inspiratory lung capacity as well as total lung capacity. Fourth is assess progression and effectiveness of treatment. As we know, the disease either may be progressive or non-progressive, so how much it progresses as day by days and how the treatment effect respond. Then the finalize when to discontinue the treatment. As if the patient is suffering from excessive tracheobronchial secretion, we our main is to remove the excessive tracheobronchial secretion by the means of any chest manipulation technique like shaking, vibration, chest manipulation or postural drainage. So when the treatment will be continued, कब तक हमें पोस्चरल ड्रेनेज ट्रीटमेंट देना है और कब उसको डिसकंटिन्यू करना है. एंड द लास्ट वन इज प्लान एंड इम्प्लीमेंट होम प्रोग्राम. व्हेन द पेशेंट इज एबल टू exercise himself, his breathing capacity is normal, his shortness of breath is reduced, we can plan his home program. Now the first step is interview with the patient as well as family member. It can be obtained from the patient medical records, patient social history, patient socio-economic status, as well as patient personal history like smoking and personal habits such as drinking can be obtained. Second one is the general appearance of the patient. It comes in this vital parameters like pulse rate, respiratory rate, blood pressure and temperature can be recorded, because it is important. If we can prescribe any type of exercise, we can see whether the patient's vital parameters are increased or decreased after, during and before the treatment. Then we can observe the patient. In this we can see the color of the patient: polar, conscious, oriented, lethargic, alert and responsive. Whether the patient is conscious, semi-conscious or unconscious. Oriented means orientation for time, place and person. Lethargic, as we all know, if the patient is suffering from any respiratory disease, he may use more accessory muscles of respiration rather than the main muscles of respiration, so he may lethargic. Then the alert for any treatment or any painful stimuli. Responsiveness, he may respond your command, your treatment or not. Then we can see the color. Color means cyanosis. Cyanosis is a bluish discoloration of skin and mucous membrane due to hypoxemia or due to sluggish circulation. There are four types of cyanosis. The first is central, peripheral, mixed, and cyanosis due to abnormal pigment. Central cyanosis we can see in the tongue and mouth, and peripheral cyanosis is basically seen in the finger and toes. Basically, it is due to the sluggish circulation. In mixed cyanosis, we can see both hypoxemia as well as the sluggish circulation. It sometimes may be seen in mitral stenosis. Now comes to the head and neck region. In head and neck region, we can see the facial signs and expression. When patient is suffering from any type of cardiac or respiratory disease, he may depressive. So we can see the facial signs and facial expression, whether he may be a mouth breather or nose breather. Then we can see the hypertrophy of accessory muscles of respiration, as I have already told that in case of obstructive lung disease, patient may use more accessory muscle rather than the main muscle. So there will be a hypertrophy of accessory muscles of the respiration. Then we can see the jugular venous pressure, because jugular vein is the direct continuity of the superior vena cava and the right atrium. So any pressure changes can reflect the pressure of the right atrium. Then the peripheral region. In peripheral region, we can see the skin condition, whether the skin is pale, yellow or pink. Then comes to the clubbing. Clubbing is the bulbous enlargement of the angle of the nail bed. In this, there is a hypertrophy of the nail bed angle. So it occurs when the patient is suffering from any cardiac disease, any pulmonary disease, elementary disease. Sometimes the cause is unknown, that is idiopathic. Edema. If the patient is suffering from any interstitial edema or any kidney problem or metabolic disease, there may be edema which may be seen generally in peripheral region like ankle. Now comes to the body type. Body type means what is the physique of person. In this, there are three type of body physique mass or body mass. That is ectomorphic, mesomorphic, and endomorphic. Ectomorphic, the bones are basically narrow and the body build is thin. In mesomorphic, the muscle mass is more than the fat mass, and in endomorphic, the rib cage will be thick and the joint will be thicker. Now comes to the analysis of chest shape, dimension, and posture. In this, we can see the symmetry of the chest. We can ask the patient to do the inspiration and expiration, and at the same time, we can see the upper chest and the lower chest can move symmetrically. Then comes to the mobility of trunk. We can ask the patient to do the shoulder movement as well as the arm movement and trunk movement, and we can see the mobility, how much patient can do these movements. Then comes to the shape of chest. The normal shape of the chest is the ellipsoidal, where the transverse diameter is greater than the anterior posterior diameter, and the ribs is lie obliquely, anteriorly, and horizontal posteriorly. In case of abnormal chest shape, we can see pigeon chest, that is also known as pectus excavator, funnel chest, pectus carinatum, barrel chest, spinal chest, flail chest, flat chest, and hyperinflammation. In these abnormal chest shape deformity, most of the deformity we can see in obstructive lung disease, like in emphysema or bronchiectasis, we can see a barrel chest. In case of rib fracture, we can see a flail chest. So these are the abnormal chest shape. Now comes to the breathing pattern. अगर हम ब्रीदिंग पैटर्न की बात करें तो सबसे पहले नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग क्या होता है? नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग इज अ ब्रीदिंग which occurs 12 to 16 minute breath per minute, and the inspiration and expiration ratio is 1:2. We can see the location, type of breathing, regularity, and rhythm of the breathing. Now comes to the abnormal breathing pattern. These are the some abnormal breathing pattern which occurs in respiratory patients. Dyspnea, that is difficulty in breathing or shortness of breath. Tachypnea, that is increased respiratory rate. Bradypnea, decreased respiratory rate. Orthopnea, difficult breathing in supine position. Apnea, absence of breathing for more than 15 seconds. Apneosis, that is rapid shallow respiration, hyperventilation, and kind stroke breathing. This is the cycle of apnea and hyperapnea. Now comes to the palpation. In palpation, we can see the symmetry of the chest. मैंने पहले आपको बताया था इंस्पेक्शन में कि हम पेशेंट को इंस्पिरेशन करने के लिए बोलेंगे और पेशेंट का अपर चेस्ट और लोअर चेस्ट मूवमेंट देखेंगे कि सिमेट्रिकली वो मूव कर रहे हैं कि नहीं. This comes on palpation. Now we come to the palpation. We can see the chest symmetry by placing for upper lobe expansion. We can place our thumb over the mid-sternal line. The fingers should be placed laterally over the clavicle. First, we can ask the patient to fully exhale. Now, we can ask the patient to inhale deeply. The distance between the two thumbs is our upper lobe expansion. For middle lobe expansion, we can place our thumb over the xiphoid process. Ask the patient to inhale deeply and then exhale. Again, the distance between the two thumbs is the middle lobe expansion. For the lower lobe expansion, we can place our palm of the hand over the back spinous process and ask the patient to do the same activity. The distance between the thumb is the lower lobe expansion. Now the depth of excursion. These movements can be checked by the help of inch tape, that is known as girth measurement or depth of excursion. We can take in 3 level, 4th costal cartilage, 7th costal cartilage, and 9th costal cartilage. Now comes to the fremitus. Fremitus, also known as tactile vocal fremitus, that is the vibration the therapist can heard, that is the vibration the therapist can heard when the patient speak or say 99 several times. It is a tactile perception of vibration communicated to the chest wall from the larynx via the bronchi and lung. Basically, why it is important, fremitus is increased when the lung underneath relatively is solid, as in case of consolidation. As we all know, the solid transmit the sound better, and it is decreased if there is pneumothorax, pleural effusion, or hydropneumothorax. Now comes to the chest wall pain. Any type of chest wall pain can be identified by pressing against the chest wall with the help of thumb and identify any type of pain, whether it is a musculoskeletal origin or whether it is any type of cardiac problem. If the patient is having any fractured rib or rib pain, there may be a pain in inspiration, as also there may be pain, burning type of pain in case of tracheitis. Deep breathing pain होगा patient को और वो burning type का होगा, and it also occurs in inspiration. So this is all about the chest wall pain. Now comes to the mediastinum or the position of the trachea. The mediastinum is normally centrally or slightly deviated to the right side. Any shift of the mediastinum can be detected by noting the position of the trachea and the apex beat. the position of the trachea shifted result of asymmetrical intrathoracic pressure or lung volume. The apex beat is examined with the palm of the hand and its position is noted. Normally, the apex beat is in fifth left intercostal space just inside the mid-clavicular line. If the patient has pneumonectomy, listen, if the patient has pneumonectomy, the lung volume on the operated side will be decreased and the trachea will be shifted towards that side. As I have already told that it is because of asymmetrical intrathoracic pressure or reduced lung volume. So if the patient is having pneumonectomy, the lung volume on the operated side will be decreased and the trachea will be shifted towards that side. ट्रैकिया को वो अपनी तरफ खींचेगा क्योंकि वो वाला एरिया खाली हो गया है. ओके, so and if the patient is having hemothorax or any pressure, the mediastinum will be shift on the affected side. Any pleural effusion or any secretion, in that condition the trachea will be shifted on the opposite side. Now comes to the percussion. Percussion is again an evaluation technique. Percussion is an evaluation technique designed to assess the density of density, specifically air to solid ratio in the lung. How we can perform this percussion? The therapist can place her left hand over the patient intercostal space and the right hand, the middle finger of the right hand should be placed over the middle finger of the left hand, and we can percuss all over the chest. Okay, so normally we can heard a resonant sound all over the chest. If there is any consolidation or tumor, the sound will be dull, and if there is pleural effusion, hemothorax, pneumothorax, the sound will be hyper resonant, means हमें sound ज़्यादा सुनाई देगा. So आपको पहली चीज तो दोनों साइड को चेक करना है और कंपेयर करना है कि राइट साइड में ज्यादा सुनाई दे रहा है या लेफ्ट साइड में. और दूसरी चीज ध्यान में ये रखना है कि सिर्फ परकशन से हमें डायग्नोसिस पे नहीं जाना है. वी कैन ऑल्सो कंपेयर विद द चेस्ट एक्सरे, विद द ब्रेथ साउंड एंड विद अदर ऑब्जर्वेशन. ओके, नाउ कम्स टू द ऑस्कल्टेशन. Auscultation. Listening to the sound within the body may be lung sound, that is also known as breath sound, or heart sound. Breath sound may be normal or abnormal, produced when repetitive air goes to and comes from the airway. There are basically 4 types of breath sound: tracheal, bronchial, bronchovesicular, and vesicular. All of you know that the stethoscope is used for hearing this sound. There are 2 parts. One is the diaphragm, another is the bell. The diaphragm is used for hearing a breath sound, whereas the bell is basically used in child for 3rd and 4th heart, listening to 3rd and 4th heart sound. So first one is the tracheal breath sound. Tracheal breath sound, which can heard over the trachea. It is a loud hoarse high pitched sound which can heard both in inspiration and expiration, means it can be heard equally on inspiration as well as expiration. The second one is the bronchial. Bronchial breath sound is the loud hoarse high pitched sound which can be heard more on inspiration than on expiration. Anteriorly, it can be heard near this manubrium sterni and near the clavicle, and posteriorly it can be heard between the 2 scapulae. The third is the bronchovesicular sound. It is a soft medium pitch sound which can be heard equally on inspiration and expiration, and again it can be heard near the manubrium sterni anteriorly and between the 2 scapulae posteriorly. And the last one is the vesicular sound. Normally we can heard vesicular sound in normal healthy person all over the chest. In this sound we can heard, it can be heard all over the chest except over the trachea. Okay, it is a faint breezy sound. Then comes to the abnormal breath sound. Abnormal breath sound are produced when the patient has suffered from any obstructive, restrictive lung disease or any type of pleuritis. First is the ronchi. Ronchi, you all heard about the ronchi. It is a whistling sound, also known as wheeze, and you can heard in a severe asthma, like. And the second one is the rays, that is also known as crackles or crepitation. जब अपन गर्मी के दिनों में आपने सुना होगा दो पत्ते, सूखे हुए पत्तों की आवाज, या जब आप दो बाल के रेशे बालों को दो बालों को आप जब रब करोगे तो जो आवाज आती है, that is rays. Then comes to the stridor. When there will be explosive opening of the airway, this stridor comes. It can be heard only in inspiration. It may be laryngeal, due to laryngeal obstruction or tracheal obstruction. And the last one is the pleural friction rub. We all know the parietal pleura and the visceral pleura. There, in between that, there is a pleural fluid. When the pleural fluid is less, it may rub each other and giving rise a characteristic pleural friction rub sound that can occur in pleuritis. Now come to the cough and sputum. The normal cough is a sharp and deep, and sometimes it may productive, it may unproductive. When it is productive, it may said to be a sputum. A healthy individual can excrete about 100 ml sputum per day. We can see the color, consistency and amount of the sputum. In color we can see whether it is a white, yellow means infectious, or it may be red, sometimes that is known as hemoptysis. Consistency, whether it is a thick or thin, sometimes a purulent, that may contain pus, mucopurulent, opalescent to white. And the last one is the amount. As I told earlier, amount 100 ml sputum is normally excreted from tracheobronchial airways. And it is, if there is excessive accumulation of secretion, it means patient is suffering from some obstructive restrictive disease or any cardiac. Then we can see X-ray finding and pulmonary function test to know whether the patient VCT is normal, ABG is normal, exercise tolerance test, etc. This was in a nutshell all about chest examination. Thanks to all of you